𝗶𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗶𝗀 lives in Vlakfontein with her great-grandmother and 4 younger cousins. She's only 18 years old. As can be expected, she wrote matric last year. But what has been unexpected was her becoming a mother in the last couple of weeks. She named her son 𝗃𝗃𝗃, God's will.
It's been I wouldn't say rough week, but a sore one, because I had pains, I couldn't sleep. The baby had a problem first because I didn't have enough milk on my breast.
𝗶𝗵𝗂 met the father of her baby last year while home from school during lockdown. Too much free time translated into unsupervised extracurricular activities.
Yeah, I would say that if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't be holding my baby, because we had the lockdown for like how many months? 3 or 4. So mostly I was with him, which made it more easy for me to bond with him and know him much better.
𝗶𝗵𝗂's story, teenagers giving birth, is not a new problem. But during the pandemic, the teen pregnancy rate rose by 60% in Gauteng. At the South African Medical Research Council, Dr. Kim Jonas has been tracking the national trend.
In 2019, in particular, 2018 to 2019, 5% of adolescent girls aged 14 to 19 have experienced a pregnancy in that year, and this continues to increase by age group. But we also can't ignore the impact of COVID and its associated lockdowns that have prevented many to access health services because of the priority towards COVID-19 cases.
I wouldn't advise people to get pregnant. There's a time like where you feel like, okay, can I please just die for a moment and then go through what I'm going through, then come back, because it is kind of sore, especially when they have to like cut you a little so that the baby can come out.
It's in corridors like these where you'll hear the first cries of a newborn baby. It's a watershed moment into a life of enormous responsibility for many teen mothers. As a midwife at 𝗃𝗵𝗶𝘀 Mother and Child Hospital in Johannesburg, Matron Slindile Sithole helps numerous teenage mothers through first-time labor. Did you note an increase in teenage pregnancies over the lockdown period?
There is an increase in the teenage pregnancies and deliveries. It's very demanding and very stressful. Like, you come out here because you finish this one person, then somebody else is already standing to come in that room. The patient we see are beyond what the hospital is supposed to cater. And it's like the number, they increase all the time.
Of the 23,000 girls that the Gauteng Health Department recorded as having given birth from April 2020 to March 2021, 934 were under 14 years old. What are the health risks attached to teenagers giving birth?
So now women go through lots of things that put the life of the woman, even of the baby, at risk. So those are very dangerous, because some other women, you may even use your life. So you can imagine if an adult can go through that, what will now this teenager child who's 13 years old go through?
But the numbers reveal an even more devastating trend. According to Stats SA's live birth report, at least 600 new mothers around the country were younger than 10.
I don't know why we would be surprised. We live in a country that is considered the highest in terms of its stats on GBV.
𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏 Kodisang is the CEO of the Soul City Institute for Social Justice.
So each time you see a number, you must associate the number with the kind of environment we live in. For the last 5 years, numbers show that rape is highest in the under 15-year-old age group. So when you bring those numbers together, they tell you a story that says in South Africa, young women are not safe. Their first experience of sexual intercourse is through rape.
𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏 is living this painful story. We've hidden her identity because she fears for her life. At 16 years old, she was raped. Now, she's a mother of a 3-month-old baby girl, while she's still tormented by the sexual assault.
Sometimes people say, even next year, sometimes I blame my batsadi.
In December 2020, 𝗶𝗀𝗃 accompanied her childhood friend to a nearby house, where a man she'd occasionally seen around the neighborhood suggested that she wait for her friend inside a back room.
Kunaula radio, ipina. Ayemela mshimano atima lebona. Naka si light, arwai ke si light. Ngathi wena usicimela ngoba ngihleli. Ayemela lo eta volume. Ya rasa, yena ya rasa like rasa. I feel like kopilaka adule kopilaka.
So at this point, you weren't scared, no satswa?
Uthe thomo ntshwara, ke motho mo tshwate. Ante ngilathela ko sofe. Ate amusamelo. Akwa. Ante amusamelo ankwala ko wona. Kaza mu chief tizamsamelo ona. Kasebile matla. Tema icothe into benza kimi. Ngabonga. Amagama akhulume kimi. Athi ngatsheli bantu. Ngoba uzongibulala.
Fearing for her life, 𝗶𝗀𝗃 eventually summoned the courage to tell her mother everything, but only 2 weeks later. Too late for a rape kit that should have been done within 72 hours. When she eventually went to the clinic, 𝗶𝗀𝗃 was too traumatized to properly understand the instructions on how to take the medication that would help prevent an unwanted pregnancy.
Maybe benza end up senibotshwa ngohlobo ndandi engangakhona. Nangimkhalela ukuthi ngathi banganibambela yena because urule life yomntana. Angazi bandi uzwa survive na.
𝗶𝗀𝗃's mother questions how the clinic would prescribe medication to a person who was still clearly in duress.
Wangiyabuza kanti ezipilisi kwakuthe usele kanjani? Wathi kwakuthe mama akayazi.
Traumatized.
Wayese traumatized because wayesethukile.
There are parents who really try. The system is what is failing. They go to a police station, they get attitude from the police. They go to the clinic, they get attitude from the nurses, and they end up giving up. So we need to fix every layer of this system. The parents as a layer of the system, the departments, clinics, schools, police stations, the justice system, the courts.
𝗶𝗀𝗃's alleged perpetrator is known to hang around here near her school, so the chances of her bumping into him are pretty high. A trauma she has to relive every day. We took 𝗶𝗀𝗃's case to the police. We wanted to understand what support she and her mother were given. The response was, all SAPS officers must adhere to the ministerial 6-point plan on gender-based violence when handling cases of sexual assault. The FCS commander was regretfully unaware of any secondary victimization alleged by the victim's family and will be looking further into the matter.
Angisasolo umuntu bengibuya ngisakwazi uhamba esikolweni umuntu uphile ehlala eklasini. After school angisasolo umuntu lona beyima nabangani bakhe bekhuluma. Umuntu ojahela ukufika ekhaya.
Awareness alone is not enough. We want people to get enraged, to get to a point where they're like, this must stop. And until we get to that point, we will keep making the noise.